I'm going to be talking about Girlboss monkeys today.
Of course you are.
Female monkeys. So, a troop of macaques, I believe it's pronounced, Japanese macaque monkeys, at a nature reserve in Japan have had their first female alpha appointed head of the troop.
Wow.
The Margaret Thatcher of the macaques.
Let's hope she's not. Well, by the sounds of it, she might be
macaque.
The Iron Monkey. That's it. So, established in 1952, Taka Sakiyama is a nature reserve on the island of Kyushu. There's a lot of words I might mess up here, but we're going to try. And this nature reserve is home to 1,500 Japanese macaque monkeys. Now, in the 70 years that this nature reserve has been running, there has never been a female alpha in either of the troops. So the nature reserve is split into two troops, Troop A and Troop B. So there's roughly like 700 to 750 monkeys in each. And recently, Troop B has obtained their first female alpha.
Become a matriarchy.
Yeah, become a matriarchy. That's it. So
Pretty sick.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Girl boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So macaques are slightly aggressive animals. I think if you go hiking where they tend to live in the wild, you get told not to look at them directly in the eye, or they'll just attack you.
Yeah, that happens. I think that's with a lot of different primates. Gorillas as well, I think. If you look them in the eye, they take that as a sort of as a threat.
Yeah.
Show your teeth.
Or don't, no, don't do that.
No, don't do that. They will. That's yeah. No, they will attack you.
But with a smaller monkey, I'd probably look it in the eye. You know, with gorillas, I think it's kind of intuitive.
Jam, I'm sorry, you could not take that smaller monkey in the eye. You could not take that smaller monkey in a fight.
Oh no, I couldn't.
I saw an interesting.
I thought that's what you were saying. Like, I'd look it in the eye. That monkey would. Rip
I might
you to
not
shreds.
expect it to attack me.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
I don't know how true this is, but I read this thing that vets are taught that if a cat is trying to like come at you, if you're being a vet and the cat is like fighting, you're told not to fight the cat, not because you couldn't like physically overcome the cat, but because you have a set of morals and the cat doesn't have a set of morals, and it will just rip you apart.
That's true. Yeah. They fight dirty.
Yeah,
they do fight dirty.
Yeah, they don't care.
That's why I wouldn't want to fight a cat. I'd fight a dog.
Yeah,
right. Because I feel like dogs are honorable. Yeah, dogs are scrappy, but they're honorable. Cats are dirty. Cats are the kind of people that would kick sand in your eyes.
Yeah, they'll do anything to
They'd just claw your eyes out.
They would.
Yeah.
Hate cats.
Yeah.
When it comes to fighting, of course. Jam, please continue your story.
So for the last 5 years, Troop B at the Nature Reserve has been led by their alpha, Sanchu, who is a 31-year-old male macaque. However, that would all change when a 9-year-old female named Yake, I hope I pronounced that right, would come for the top spot. Yake has had an interesting history with fighting and wanting to be alpha. So back in April of this year, she started her journey towards becoming an alpha monkey when she beat up her own mother to prove her dominance over the older monkeys. Just her own mum. She was like,
beat up your own mum.
Screw you, mum.
You want to win? Push your mum down the stairs to show your dominance to the adults. Happy birthday, mum. Here's
get on the ladder.
bottom landing.
Crazy bitch. Push my mum down the stairs.
That's like,
You got to get on the ladder somehow.
your mum's not going to be expecting it, right? Like, that's... If you're talking about strategically, the best person to fight and win is your mum, right? Because she's got emotional baggage, and she's not expecting it.
Well, you have no idea about the psychology of macaque monkeys, but sure.
I suppose mums would know your every weakness, having raised you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Much to think about. Jam, please continue.
Remind you of past traumatic experience.
So that was at a different facility where she beat up her mum. She was then transferred to the
Was it for being up her mum?
For being her mum.
Yeah,
Is that why?
I believe it was very soon after. So I think we can assume it was something to do with
Like
her
a prison
being
transfer.
violent. I have a feeling she was just violent in general. So then she was transferred to the Takisakiyama Nature Reserve, where she would take on her biggest challenge yet, weighing in at a mere 10 kilograms. Yake squared up to Sanchu, the 31-year-old male, 22 years older than her. Remember, it's a lot more experience.
Still too young to be president. Also, he's Japanese,
too young
so I
to-
suppose that would
I
probably
guess so.
hold him back
Yeah,
as well. Do
Yeah.
they let Japanese
Just
people be
immigrate.
president of the United States?
If you were born in the United States.
Yeah.
We'll have to look into the laws. Please continue. I'm
Anyway,
sorry, go
the
on.
point is, this 9-year-old just strolled into the new nature reserve, went up to the leader, and she beat him senseless.
Straight away?
Not straight away, but she wasn't in there for very long. It was like a very quick...
That's what they
I
tell
think this all transpired from her beating up her mother to becoming alpha. It was between April and June.
That's what they tell you to do in prison, though. I mean, you shouldn't do that. That's not what you do in prison.
Find the biggest guy and beat him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that. If you go to prison, don't do that. That's not good advice. But that is the advice that you hear. And she clearly took it.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe she just knew the Olympics are going on. She was like, I want to go for gold, you know.
What, in mum beating?
I don't think the unofficial fighting in you know.
Mum boxing.
I'm not really
monkeys.
sure we can call this. I was going to say this woman. She's a monkey. I think
This girl, Luke, she's 9
No,
years
she's
old.
nine.
I apologize. I don't think we can call her a girl boss when her first
I'm
act
calling
as
her a
girl
girl
boss
boss.
was beating up another girl, her
No,
mum.
that's girl boss. That's
No,
girl boss behavior.
I don't think so.
No, because she's girl boss.
The boss of girls.
She's girl boss. Luke, you don't
she's
understand the concept of girl boss, clearly.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm behind in the times.
Yeah.
Anyway, to the utter disbelief of the wardens at the nature reserve, she quickly became the new alpha of Troop B. So the wardens decided to test this by performing the peanut test. Do you know what the peanut test might be?
Do you put a peanut in and there's only one peanut and the monkeys are all like, oh shit, I'm not going to take this peanut because the alpha will beat me up. And then the alpha gets the peanut.
It's actually slightly different to that. It's like a load of peanuts. It's like enough for everybody.
Oh.
It's enough peanuts so that everyone could go eat at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But Sanchu, the old alpha, backed away and let her have the first peanut.
Oh.
Yeah, so she is the
Wow.
official alpha.
How do you know that Sanchu's not either really polite or just read a feminist literature?
That does
Yeah,
make
he
sense.
Might
maybe,
have read up
yeah.
a bit, yeah.
Maybe she didn't beat him up. Maybe what she did was educate him. You know,
She gave, her, like, she gave him,
on
she gave him
feminist theory.
a podcast to listen to. Redirected him to a Tumblr blog from a while ago. So yeah, she is a certified girl boss. She's now basking in her alpha status a bit. Satoshi Kimoto, who's a guide at the nature reserve, has said Yake has been climbing trees and shaking them violently, which is an expression of power and a very rare behavior in females.
I could do that.
Yeah,
I could climb a tree and shake it. That's not.
only the
Yeah, but you
alpha
can beat up a
yeah.
31-year-old macaque monkey.
I swear I could. If a 9-year-old is only 10 kilograms, I could beat up a 31-year-old. Not in his prime.
All right, well, let's put it to the test.
Okay, cool. I will fight a
That's
monkey.
Please.
That specific monkey. You get Sanchu on the line right now.
I think you have to
You're
beat
gonna
up her. I think you have to beat up the current
I'm not
alpha.
beating up her. She's crazy.
She's the new top.
No. I'll be up Sanchu. His
She's
spirit
just
is
like-
already broken.
she does it like
exactly.
yeah.
That doesn't count because Sanchu's already feeling down and he's not going to win his fight.
Exactly.
She does it like WWE style. She's like grabbing chairs and stuff.
I'm not
Wow.
fighting her,
Passionate,
Luke. That's like
yeah.
going up against Macho Man Randy Savage. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, The Big Show, other wrestlers.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is you can beat up Sanchu if you like, but I don't think it proves anything.
I want to.
Okay.
Have you ever thought that maybe I just like beating up monkeys?
Every day, actually.
Anyway, she's also been walking around with her tail up, which is also very unusual for females because it is like a power thing. And so, yeah, that's my story. Girlboss Monkeys.
Brilliant.
If you enjoyed that clip, head over to patreon.com/SCI Guys where you can find the full show. Or you can stay here and catch up on old SCI Guys episodes. Or you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook at SCI Guys Pod to find out when we're doing more live shows.